This is Alexia Bolin with Cola Daily, and I am here with John and Kimberly. They are the owners of Capital City Cornhole right here in Cottontown. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's not open yet, but tell us a little bit about Capital City Cornhole. How did it come about, and why did you start it?
Well, quite honestly, we've been playing in tournaments throughout the state, and we said, there's a need here in Cottontown and in Columbia for a venue that we could have an indoor facility. We will be the first one of its kind in the area. Second to actually the American Cornhole League headquarters, which is in Rock Hill, which is the one headquarters for the entire country. So that's why we kind of came up with this location.
Right. And what all are we expecting here? Because we have cornhole, but there's other elements to this too. Can you tell us about this place and what all will be offered here?
Mm-hmm. We have video games also on the other side, so if somebody comes and their kids come along and they don't want to play cornhole, they can go play some video games. We are also going to have a bar with beer and wine, and we will also have food. It's more of a canteen style food, but we will have that as well. People can also rent the other side for birthday parties, corporate events, team building events, things like that.
And so we are here in historic Cottontown. What brought you to this area, and what do you feel that you're bringing to this particular Columbia community?
Well, the Cottontown area, as you know, it's just community driven. Once again, that was a big appeal for us. And candidly, because we've owned Random Tap, we've done a lot of collaboration brews with Cottontown previously, so we had a relationship on a personal level. But it's at the end of the day, like any real estate, it's location, location, location. So you cannot beat the location. It's close proximity to USC campus, close proximity to Segra Park. So there's just a lot of benefits here, and the community around here has really embraced us up to this point, and everyone seems very excited for us to be here. So we're going to have a lot of people just walking in from the community. So we've been looking for a space for about 6 months, and we ended up here. Not just to pick anyways, it just was the right place for us to have.
And the relationship that we had with Cottontown Brew Lab as well. They did a lot of collaboration beers for us over the years, and so we knew them quite well, and we really liked them, and when we knew about this space being available, and it just worked out.
It just fit in?
Just fit in,
perfect.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And going off of events, you also own a place in Elgin called Random Tap. And at Random Tap, you do random acts of kindness. You have events to help benefit others in the community. Is that something that you plan to continue carrying on here at Capital City Cornhole?
Yes, 100%. Giving back to the community is kind of the cornerstone of when we started Random Tap, quite honestly. We think we have a phenomenal place there, but it's not about us. It's about the customers, the community, and giving back, quite honestly. So it's just a natural for us to do that here as well. We'll do benefit tournaments and give back to the community and give back to families in need, quite honestly.
And for people who are playing cornhole here, for example, I am very novice, so I feel like I'd be nervous coming in here and seeing all these pros. Is it for novices and pros alike?
100%. It's really from novice to pro. And funny, you mentioned pro. A lot of people out there don't realize there are actually pro cornhole players that are out there. They can make some sort of a living out of that. So we have from novice to pros. We're also going to have Saturday morning kind of a 4-baggers club for children, where we're going to offer lessons as well. So it's really welcome. Come one, come all. It's welcome for everybody.
And think bowling alley. There's also people that could walk in off the street. Like if you wanted to go bowling and rent a lane, they could do that here.
So it's for all ages?
100%,
all ages.
Yes.
What about tournaments? Are you going to have cornhole tournaments here as well?
100%. So my wife actually is an ACL director, American Cornhole League director, which is really a big thing in the cornhole community because a lot of people are playing to become pro status. So each tournament you play, you gain points to get to the pro status level. So we're going to be hosting ACL sanctioned tournaments as well as just off the street tournaments. We actually have our first very big tournament coming up April the 29th where we invited 4 other clubs. One of the clubs is actually going to be very own South Carolina national champs. This past season, they're going to be playing here as well. So candidly, Capital City is hoping to do well, but we're not at the pro level, but that's okay. It's about having fun at the end of the day. So we're really looking forward to that event. We're going to have some of the best players in South Carolina at this venue. So it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yes.
And also one of the benefits to this place is, when you do have tournaments and stuff, you don't have to worry about weather. We're inside, we're in the air conditioning. There's no worries about that, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And that's one of the big reasons why we wanted to open this, because like I said, we've played tournaments outside, and you're looking at the forecast. Is it going to be warm enough? Is it going to be cold? What's the weather going to be? And quite honestly, the more you get into cornhole, you realize the elements affect the boards and the speed of those boards. And bags are made for specific conditions. So in here, it's going to be climate controlled. We'll take all of those worries out of your head. Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, no worries. And how many teams can this specific location accommodate?
We will have 7 boards in the one part of our facility. We'll have 3 other boards. They're all going to be pro-level boards. So we could accommodate about 68 to 72 teams in a tournament to run it smoothly. And for open play, it's just because people are renting space. So open play, it's wide open. We could accommodate a heck of a lot more.
So I'm here in another part of the Capital City Cornhole, and we are in the bar area where brews will be served. So of course I'm talking to Nick Gettings, who is part of the Brewski Brothers. Tell us what your job is going to be here, Nick.
Yeah, sure. Of course, I've been friends with John and Kimberly, who own Random Tap, for quite some time now. And I've actually helped collab some brews here before. Prior, it was, of course, Cottontown Brew Lab. And my brother-in-law and I started what's called Brewski Brothers. We did craft beer reviews on YouTube, and it allowed us to stretch out to the community. The idea was to be a liaison between macro beer drinker, and you can go look that up separately, and micro brew, so craft beer. So we kind of started that way, and as we've gotten more and more into it, it allowed us to start to collab with local South Carolina breweries. We've done different brews for, of course, different things. Our Random Act of Kindness, we've done a few things for, and we've done them for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. That's where anytime we did a collab, the brewers are very open, of course, about, once again, giving back to the community and South Carolina. So they allowed us to come in, help collab with them, and then release brews in order to raise money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
And why specifically is the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation important to you and to this business?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was first born, I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis, and when I was younger, I didn't quite let many people know, or different things like that. But of course, as you got older, bringing about awareness and people to know about it. It's not a large, very well-known disease, but it has allowed us to now actually give back to the CF Foundation for all the things that they've helped me with throughout all the years. The doctor's visits, appointments, even obtaining certain medications and different things like that. So it was a perfect thing to do. Of course, what we love, brewing beer, drinking beer, and then being able to do a collaboration on that side with a local South Carolina community to make money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So.
Okay, that's great. And as a brewmaster here, what is your goal? So when somebody comes in here, not only are they playing cornhole, they'll come over to your area, which is the bar area, and are you going to kind of help them to explore these different kinds of crafts, beer crafts?
Yeah, so we are going to have some of your regular macro brews that you used to see at the gas stations and different things like that. But we're also going to have some South Carolina beers and local craft beer. So to be able to bring people in, some people are like, oh, what type of beer? You're like, oh, I like Miller Lite. Okay, we know that's more on the Pilsner or lager side. So there are craft beers that are Pilsner or lager style that, of course, in my opinion, just have a better quality flavor to them. There's not so many adjuncts and different things that they put in there. It's actual all natural, brewery material, not rice and different things like that. So yeah, just trying to bring people in and so they can learn about that. We've actually collaborated with a lot of other people too to bring in people that aren't craft beer fans while doing these collabs, because they want to support the CF Foundation, and then at the same time they get to learn about the craft beer side of it also.